Hi everyone and welcome to Leah's Cross Stitch Corner. This is Floss Tube number 10 and today I'm going to be discussing cheap cross stitch kits. So just before I get stuck in, and for the last time until I reach like a massive number of followers, I passed 100 subscribers last week. I mean, I'm on like 100 and close to 120 now in fact. So a big thank you to everyone who's subscribed to my channel. It really means a lot. I'm not going to go on about it a lot because I know people will be like, Leah, what you doing? Stop discussing it. You know, get a grip. But it is a big milestone for me. I didn't think I would get this many subscribers so soon. So I am very grateful. To celebrate 100 subscribers, Summer's back with me today. Say hiya. Good girl. She's really busy, as you can tell. So one of the main things that plagues cross stitch, if you will, is cheap cross stitch kits. Now, what do I mean by that? Obviously, there are rip-off kits that are pattern mills, so like the companies that just bring out copies of other people's patterns. I know Stitchrovia has had dupes made, really cheap ones, up on like Shine, AliExpress, Temu, I don't know how to pronounce that, to be honest. I know Joy Sunday is a pretty bad one. Hey, pack it in. Hey, Summer. Hey. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. She's got a bit of an obsession with her paws, so she like licks them and licks them and licks them, and it causes chaos. She ends up limping because she like damages something while she's licking it, makes it all sore. So we have to stop her when she does that. She's a little bugger. Where you going? Good girl. Good girl. What was I saying? I got distracted. Joy Sunday, I think I was saying, is a big rip-off of kits. Ripper-offer of kits? That makes more sense. But today I want to discuss the ones that aren't just dupes. They aren't just people doing bad things. I wanted to discuss other cheap kits. Sorry, someone distracted me because she jumped off there. So I'm currently doing a Halloween kit. I should have opened it beforehand. I apologise. I'll just take some bits out. There we go. Wasn't that difficult? So we were in Boys on Saturday and we went to see my mum. No, I see my sister because it's her birthday this week. It's actually today when this video goes up. It's her birthday, so happy birthday, CJ. I don't know if you watch, but happy birthday. So we went to concert and I was going to pop into the craft shop, but I was like, I don't always have any new stuff. I don't really need any threads. I mean, I do, but I'm going to do a big order of threads at some point and get them all delivered. So I was like, should we go in Boys? There's a huge Boys in concert. And we've never been in there before, so I was like, yeah, let's go and have a look. I didn't really expect much. I know they do have the DMC spinners. I told Graham, by the way, that somebody actually owns one. I've seen like multiple people with like the big huge DMC spinners. And I was like, ooh, birthday present, Christmas present idea. No, I'm joking. They must be mega expensive. I don't know where the hell I'd put it. So we walk around Boys, having a quick look to see. I wish they did more, to be honest. Boys is a little bit of one of those shops in the UK that does a little bit of everything. It's very cheap. Not in a bad way. Like, it's just very bargain friendly, I guess. And we spotted some cross stitch kits and I was like, ooh. So I bought this one here. This was £4. Trying to check because one was 5, one was 4, and one was 3. Excuse me. So this was £4. It's very autumnal with the pumpkins, the mushrooms, and some leaves. I also got this one. So there's some Christmas ones up, and I said to Graham, which one do you like best? And I'll get it. This one was £5. Look, it's got the little bell. Season's greetings to all. It's got like the wreath. Really lovely. And the one I was most excited about was the pumpkin. This little bad boy. So I'm stitching him at the minute because I thought I'll get him done because then I can talk about him. And I didn't know what to film this week. I wanted to do a video on how to get into the world of cross stitching magazine and the questions I was asked, but I forgot to actually email them to ask if it's okay for me to go through the questions. So I'll do that probably next week if I manage to get a response from them, and hopefully that's all okay. So I'm stitching this pumpkin. Now, as you can see, he's quite cute, isn't he? He's lovely. That yellow is a bit more prevalent than it looks on the pattern. So here it is on the pattern. It's not quite as dark. Yeah, it's not quite as light, sorry, I should say. It's less light. But it's really cute. And I mean, like, for £3, I'm tempted to go and buy some more so I can just decorate the house with them for Halloween. I say that. I said to Graham, they won't just stay up for Halloween. Once they go up, they'll stay up forever. Be honest. I don't think we actually do have any Christmas stuff still up. We're actually pretty good like that. We do take stuff down. But, you know, these pumpkins are lovely, so I'd probably end up keeping them up. So this is from a company called Dough Crafts. I've tried to look into them, but there's not really a lot. They do offer a lot of crafty stuff. It's called Simply Make Craft Kits. It has the instructions on the back for how to cross stitch and what to do. Yeah, it's pretty handy. The only thing I'd say, I mean, it's £3, so for £3 you can't really go wrong. I'll show you a little bit of the pattern just to see. So the pattern doesn't actually have symbols, it just has the colours, which makes it really difficult. You know, I can see the colours, I've got the colours all here, and I can divide the colours up, but I don't know, my brain doesn't read it right. I don't know. It would make a lot more sense if they just had symbols on, just to make it a little bit easier for people like me who just, I don't know, it turns out I can't work to just a coloured pattern. I've got to have symbols on to like understand where I need to go and what I need to do. But maybe that's just me. So this cost £3. Now bear in mind, that's a little bit of a reasonably little price one. You know, he's going to be quite small, but he's going to be quite cute. I'm going to stitch him a little bit more today actually. The floss is probably not branded floss, but the coverage, you'd say, is pretty darn good. That is pretty sweet coverage if you ask me. Just tilt it just so you can see. There's not a lot of gaps. It's not very gappy. I've seen DMC which is gappier than that, to be quite honest. It comes with the Ada, the hoop. It's like a little plasticky hoop, but it does the job. It's what I'll keep them in. It's solid enough and good enough tension. Got the thread. Comes with a, I'll show you in this one actually because it's actually here. It comes with 2 needles and a needle threader. Now, I have no idea how to use this needle threader. I use the plastic one. So it's got like a little plastic end, and then it's got like a, I'll show you because I have one. I use them. They're a lot easier to thread needles, I find. I don't really know how to use that metal thing. I could look, but it just looks a little bit awkward. I prefer mine. So yeah, for £3, it's not a lot. And it probably isn't, you know, it probably isn't Zweigart Ada. It's probably just cheap Ada. But, you know, it's stiff enough. Feels nice and stiff. It's quite nice. You know, it's got a good, like I say, it's good tension. Looks nice. The coverage is lovely. So it's not probably the best of the best, but as far as a cheap kit goes, it's pretty good, and I'm quite enjoying it actually. I'm really excited to see how he looks when he's finished. I'll obviously, if I finish him, even if I don't finish him, I'll be showing him my whip parade at the end of August. And I'm quite impressed, to be fair. Boys do some pretty sweet cross-stitch bits, especially the bigger boys. If you can get into a boys that's a little bit bigger. They obviously have all the Halloween, autumnal and Christmas kits out at the moment. And, you know, you can't go wrong. When you, so when you buy in a proper kit, you are paying between £17 to £20. So if you go and buy a Caterpillar cross stitch kit, if you go and buy a kit from Geeky Stitching Company, if you go and buy one from Hoops and Crosses, Maloka Designs, they run quite expensive, and that's no issue, you know. The threads are good threads. They all use DMC as far as I'm aware. They all use Zweigart Ada. They all use the best of the best. The hoops are the best. So like if you say you have a Caterpillar cross stitch kit, say it has 8 colours in, you don't get a full skein. I don't know how to pronounce that either. You don't get a full doodad. of threads, you get however much they need. They measure it out and they give you a little bit more. So, but even on the basis that you would give to get 8 skeins, I don't know. So if you got 8 skeins of floss, say £8, that's at cost price. You know, you can get them for like 99p these days. If on like Wool Warehouse, Lovecrafts, they do offers. So £8, that's just for the floss if it's 8 colours. The Ada, gotta be like £3-4. So there's £12. You don't get a hoop, and then you've got obviously the pattern as well. So like, essentially the pattern comes in with the kit, but the designer of the pattern has got to get some profit as well. So like, even if you say a kit costs £10 to produce, and that's at cost, that's not at like wholesale price, which probably means it'll be a little bit cheaper anyway, they've still got to make a profit, you know. So I can see why cross-stitch kits cost so much. When I look to kit something up, it does cost a reasonable amount of money to get the Ada, to get the threads. You know, if you're going to use the proper stuff, you're going to have to pay for it. So I have absolutely no issue with paying £17 to £20 for a kit. It's more than worth it, if you ask me. And it saves me the hassle. Oftentimes, I don't like to have to mess about to try and get everything. I'd rather just receive it. Because for the sake of paying £17 anyway to kit it all up, you might as well just buy a kit. It's a lot simpler for me. So like, I don't understand how in the heck these kits make any money. Like, it's £5 for that. How can the people who make this kit be making money? Like, just see if it says anything. It's made in China. Does that help? Does that make it easier? Like, it's lovely that you can get kits like this. And, you know, I'm usually a little bit of a snob. I like DMC threads. I like proper Schweigart Ada. I like a proper... I prefer... Everybody goes on about the Elbessy hoops. Elbessy? I don't... Again, this is just going to be a mess of pronunciations. I prefer the DMC hoops, personally. I've got a couple of good DMC hoops that are really, really good. I need to get a few more, because if I'm going to have 5 kits on the go at any given time, I kind of want them all to be in good quality hoops. I did get a nerd hoop and I've been struggling with it, to be honest. I don't know how to get it tight. It doesn't stay tight, or I don't know, it isn't tight enough when I'm tightening it. That's a lot of tights, Leah. So I tried the Nerd. I've still got something in the Nerd. I've got the Geeky Stitching Company Garden Gnome Stitch Along in there, because it's just easier to have it in there, because it's pretty much the size of the actual stitch along. So it means I don't have to keep moving the hoop or doing anything with it or faffing about. Yeah, so I prefer DMC hoops personally. I'm going to get some more once I have a little bit of spare cash, just to get some, because it makes it easier. I did buy a plastic hoop at Boys, but don't really get on with plastic hoops too much. But back to my original point. I don't know how these... I don't know how they make money. They're amazing. I think they're really good. Like, apparently I posted... I'm on a Facebook group, Cross Stitch Friends in the UK. And I posted on there, you know, get to Boys, go and have a look. They've got some really reasonable price kits. They really, you know, they look really nice. And somebody said the finished product isn't always what's on the packaging. And I can see that, because if you look, that's just a digital mock-up. And even on the back, it's a digital mock-up. Bizarrely enough, they haven't actually stitched it before they've released it, which I don't agree with that, I'll be honest. You know, you could easily ask somebody to stitch it for you, get some pictures, and just, you know, away you go with it. It's not that difficult. So yeah, obviously, like, if they'd stitched up the one that I'm doing, you would see that that yellow is probably a bit too yellow. It'll probably look nice. It'll look lovely when he's all like blended in with all the other colours. There's another darker orange to come. But if you'd stitched it up, you would know that. So I don't really understand how they've gotten away with that. I think they probably should have stitched it up. I think all designers should stitch up their wares. You don't even have to do it yourself. Like, if anybody wanted me to help them stitch it up, I would do it. It's no problem for me. I created a few patterns that I didn't end up going ahead releasing because I just wasn't too happy with them. But I got somebody else to do it. I don't have enough time to stitch up, so I don't have enough time to do any designing personally. I work 30 hours a week. You know, my job stresses me out enough, to be honest, without trying to make patterns, release patterns, design patterns, and stitch patterns. You know, when I get me free time, I want to be cross-stitching. I want to be creating stuff to like go on the bookshelves up there. I want to be doing the kits that I've got, because I've got loads of kits. I mean, I was just looking at some today and I've got tons of kits. It's a sickness. But it is something I do want to do. I do want to start releasing my own patterns. And like these cheaper kits, not these ones necessarily, because these are fantastic. These look genuine. They're not pattern mill kits. You know, they are just quite cheap. And I don't know how many times, if you did a shot every time I've said the word cheap or tight in this video, you'd probably be drunk. These are lovely. I have absolutely no problem. I would put symbols on them and I would have had them stitched up personally to take some photos so it looks better. But, you know, it cost me less than £15 for these. £5, £9, £12. Cost £12. On the subject of cheap kits, and this is where we're going to come into the bad ones, the naughty ones, the copiers. I've got this one. It's upside down. I don't even think I've got it in right. So I got this off my mum for Christmas. I got another one. It was a Westie. I don't know where I've put it. I feel like I say that a lot, don't I? I don't know where I've put it. So let me just bring it out. Here it is. So this isn't actually a Joy Sunday one. This is a Funchy cross stitch kit. And this is obviously a spaniel. So obviously my mum knows we had a Westie. She was called Suki and she passed away. And it's like it's like a picture frame of a beach with a Westie sitting on it. And it's really cute. And she also obviously got this one because we have Summer, who is a spaniel. And this looks like a spaniel. I quite like the colours on it, to be fair. This is obviously a rip-off kit, I would have thought. They probably don't have the rights to this kit. To the pattern to like make the kit. It is probably pattern milled. Now my mum didn't know that. She doesn't know what a good cross stitch kit is. She doesn't know what a bad cross stitch kit is. She doesn't know the ones to avoid, kind of thing. So it's no problem that she bought me it. She knows I like cross stitch and that's what she got me, and I really appreciate that. I'll stitch it because I am kind of curious to see how it looks, but I am also wary of putting a lot of time into something that might end up looking really, really poor and I don't end up liking it. But it should be okay. It's on 11 count here. Probably gonna have to do it on 3 strands, which means I'm gonna have to figure out how to do a loop start with 3 strands. Potential future video. I am gonna do videos like that, by the way. Once I get a proper camera and a proper setup, so I can actually do it the other way around. So I film the front facing camera. If I can do it where I can do it with the back facing camera on a on a proper camera. And somehow do it so like both my hands are free, so I can like do how to stitch, loop start, bits of bob. I am gonna level up my YouTube channel. I am. Wait till next year when I get my camera and stuff. You'll not know what's going on. It'll be amazing. These are the cross stitch kits that are the issue. You know, I was looking at one the other day, a Dimensions Aurora Borealis kind of cabin thing. Wolf Down the Rabbit Hole. The lovely Jen at Wolf Down the Rabbit Hole was showing it off. She actually has it. And it looks like a bit of a nightmare, but it looks really nice. So I was just having a look to see how much it is, what it costs. It's like £35. For how big it actually is, it's really reasonable. And the first thing that came up, the first result, was a Joy Sunday rip-off kit. Now, they've just copied that. They've flat out. They don't have the rights to do that picture. Dimensions obviously have the rights to do the picture. They haven't bought the license. They haven't done anything. And it's, you know, it's really poor. Like, I don't know how these companies can get away with it. If you were to rip off anything nowadays, you'd probably be copyright violated, like, before you can even blink. You'd have the lawyer letter in your inbox, in your envelope, in your letterbox. Wow. Before you could even do it. Like, you know, like, they'd be aware of it before you've even done it. So words are hard today. It runs the risk that we won't actually have cross stitch in the future. You know, if people copy caterpillar cross stitch designs and put them on websites for really cheap, or give the patterns away for free, or share the patterns, Caterpillar Cross Stitch won't make enough money to keep going, you know. And obviously they're a big company, so maybe they'd be okay. But like, what about Lucy at Hoops and Crosses, or Jess at the Geeky Stitching Company? What about them? What about the small companies who do the best to make their business successful, who provide amazing patterns and designs and kits that people then rip off? Kate Blanford, she makes a lot of cross stitch accessories, as well as she does kits and patterns and things. And she recently posted that one of the websites, AliExpress, Shine, Temu, I don't know which one, had copied her floss drops. So she bought some just to see what they look like. Now, bear in mind, Kate's floss drops, I'll show the pink one because it's cute, look like that. They're lovely. They're lovely and small. Maybe it should be that way around. And look at that. That is gorgeous. The one she bought, like, it's tiny, like compared to my hand. Like, it's tiny. The one she bought was as big as a floppy disk. I kid you not. Now, you might be of the generation where you're like, what is a floppy disk? Dreadful. No, I'm joking. So floppy disks was something that used to go into PCs. Literally, so like when you save something now on a PC, it used to have to go on an actual disc, like a disc, not like this. It was like 5 to 10 times the size of this. It was huge. Just Google it. It's like a little, like a square disc. It used to go on the computer and you used to put your saved stuff on it. Yeah, honestly, yeah. I am of that age where I know what a floppy disk is. Dreadful. Are you gonna come back up? Come on up here, say bye. Come on up and say bye. How is she supposed to? I mean, granted, nobody's going to buy them because they're rubbish. They're a bit too big. They're not fit for purpose. But what happens when they actually figure it out? What happens when they figure out the right size to do them when they should be this size? I'll never buy floss drops personally from from a company like AliExpress, Shine, etc, etc, etc. But some people do. Some people don't know. And I think there needs to be more awareness and more education about it. Education, I say that as if I'm like some kind of like teacher. It's dreadful, and you know, it runs the risk that independent creators may not be able to create and we won't be able to buy from them. So please remember to shop independent. Please remember to support people who are actual people and not just faceless corporations. And you know, don't get me wrong, I shop on Amazon, I go to Spoons, you know, I am not the be all on stuff like this, but I support small businesses as best I can as well. You know, Tapestry Market has recently come to the UK. They've got their own website. Don't buy from them. Don't. It's all stolen. It's all stolen stuff. And it's never going to come out right either. I saw a really nice bathroom sign on Tapestry Market. I was just having a look. And it would be really nice to hang in the bathroom. It was like a fun, cartoony type picture. It's like a big, massive poster. It's stolen. They won't have converted it properly. It won't look right when you do it. You know, so you've got to make sure that you're looking after yourself as well. You know, you don't want to spend 80 hours on a cross stitch that turns out and it's just the worst thing you've ever done. You really don't. It'd be devastating. I'd be so upset. That's why I only buy from proper companies, proper shops. You know, these boys kits, amazing. I think they're cute. I'll go and pick some more up next time I'm in there. Definitely. I'm gonna go and get a job in, boys. That's what I keep saying. Get 15% discount apparently. Ooh. So yeah, make sure to support proper creators. You know, don't support these faceless, nameless companies. It's never going to end well, to be quite honest. It really isn't. So yeah, that's my take on cheap cross-stitch kits. Yay for companies like Boys who get in what looks like nice kits. I mean, if I'm wrong, tell me. But just from what I can see, these aren't rip-off kits. They haven't stolen somebody else's designs. You know, it's all good. It's all good. It's just really cheap. I don't know how they afford it. I don't know how they make a profit on it. But, you know, that's apparently not my problem. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. This has been really fun to shoot. I didn't know what I was going to do because there's only like an infinite amount of ideas that I could do. And some things I might have to like redo. And it's going to be a lot easier for me once I do have the proper camera. So I can actually shoot tutorials. how-tos. I want to do like some stitch with me's once I have a few more followers and subscribers and stuff. So yeah, I do have big plans for this channel, all heralded by my wonderful director, who is the cutest girl. She is the goodest girl. So if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Summer would really appreciate a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I post videos every Wednesday at midday. And yeah, if you like content like this is the kind of content you're going to get. Unedited, unfiltered, real, talking stuff, showing off the sprocker. What more can you really ask for? Let's be honest. I think that's about it. Summer? Yeah. Is there anything you want to add? Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come here. Away. So, I say we'll see you next Wednesday. Summer, what's this? Over here. Hey. We'll see you next Wednesday, and we both hope you have a lovely week. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Have a good week, gang, and I'll see you next week. Bye.